Bombardier CS300 airliner has been flying since December 2016 with launch operator Air Baltic. The Latvian airline has 7 in service and more on the way. At the recent Dubai Airshow, Air Baltic brought one of the aircraft to highlight a new service schedule connecting Riga and Abu Dhabi.
This route shows the capability of the aircraft. We can go with a narrow body from Abu Dhabi to Riga, which is it's a 6-hour something flight, and it's very well received. And with that, we can connect from our existing network via Abu Dhabi to Southeast Asia. So this is one of the examples, but there are many more destinations in the future we can reach, which we couldn't reach before.
Air Baltic currently has more of the twinjets on order as it plans to transition to an all-C series fleet. Over the first full year of CS300 operations, the carrier is seeing efficiency improvements of 21% compared with the current aircraft in its fleet.
We have 20 firm orders today, but we've taken a decision to negotiate for at least another 14 aircraft, and that is only to fulfill the current business plan, but we very likely need to go beyond that. But the firm order today is 20. We have them on order, so they are coming in over the next 2 years, and then the additional order will follow. We have taken a decision to replace all our other aircraft with CS aircraft for the future, so we still fly Boeings today. They will be replaced by C-Series gradually, but we also have a turboprop fleet which we will now replace with C-Series. For that we plan an additional order. The overwhelming experience of the performance of this aircraft, it's a combination of the fuel saving, which is an economic performance, of the longer range this aircraft has compared to what we have, but also the feedback in the first year of operations from the passengers is so good that they want to be on that aircraft.
One of the features that the passengers may enjoy is a wider middle seat on the right side of the airplane, which is 19 inches versus 18 for the rest of the seats.
The crew is happy because it's a modern environment. You can see it has ambient light system, a very spacious overhead bins, more than any other aircraft of this type, which means the passengers are boarding faster on this aircraft because there's more space to put the bags. Engineers have different maintenance intervals on this aircraft, much easier to access, and the pilots have the most modern cockpit of any aircraft. So all of these attributes build a picture which makes this aircraft in this size the best you can fly today.
On the pilot side of the equation, the aircraft is receiving positive reviews. Any concerns over transitioning to Sidestick fly-by-wire controls quickly dissolved.
From day one, flying on the C-Series, we could see that the flight test team has done a really good job making the aircraft respond in a natural way. This, for me, was the first aircraft flying with Sidestick, and I was very surprised how easy and intuitive it was to go over and handle the aircraft with the Sidestick.
Beyond simply learning to use the side sticks, transitioning from one aircraft type to another, especially a completely new aircraft, usually poses a challenge.
The process has been very smooth, and we're actually finding it to be much more of a non-event than we were considering at the outset. So we see a very, very high rate of success for the pilots transitioning. And the transition process is very much a traditional type of type rating, where you have the system studies, you have the integrated procedures trainer where you're going through, and before you even get to the full flight simulator, you're very comfortable with the systems, with the checklists and so on. And then once you get into the full flight simulator, you run through the scenarios, but after some time you actually see that the full flight simulator isn't even the most challenging part of the type rating, because with the architecture, the way the things are set up, it's very easy for the pilots to deal with. So this aircraft, of course, when we started our operations, as with anything new that shows up, people had a few raised eyebrows and a bit of concern, but very quickly the aircraft was put into service and is operating within our route network without limitation. So that means that there are 50 plus airports that this aircraft can and does go to. So that demonstrates that it doesn't need anything out of the ordinary, and that it can be handled well and efficiently by even handling and other parties that have see the aircraft for the first time. And secondly, we have been able to get tremendous daily utilization out of the aircraft. This summer we were flying with our fleet on an average of plus 15 hours per day for the fleet. And that's something that in itself demonstrates that this aircraft has the reliability and the capability to be in operations and put in good service.